Hey everyone, welcome to week two. This week we are going to be talking mainly about different types of content that you can use both on social media and on your website. So let's go ahead and get started. So, on average, potential clients can visit your site 6 to 8 times before booking an appointment. The reason they do that is because they want to make sure that they're going somewhat to someone that they can really relate to. So you have to have different types of content on your website that will allow them to kind of move through the funnel. So what that means is that when we market online, we want to take our potential client on a journey. Some clients are just not ready to pick up the phone and make that appointment just yet. So just like what we do with our clients when we meet them, we have to meet them where they're at. So when we're running content online, some clients are very aware that they are depressed, and so they're looking to book an appointment. So they're going to be the ones that kind of come and visit and call right away. There are others that they know that they have something going on, but they just can't connect to what it is. And those clients are the ones that'll visit more often. And they're the ones that you have to talk a little differently to. And we'll kind of get more into that as we go on. So, um, when we are looking at the stages of change, we have the pre contemplation and contemplation stage, we have the preparation stage, we have the action stage, and we have the maintenance stage. So, this is how we define what type of content we're going to write. So, the first stage is helping the client to become aware of the problem they have or the solution. The second stage of change is preparation. We give them more information about us and our services in order for them to begin to see which therapists or services they fit best with. So, this is more where you're giving more information and you're being a little bit more direct because they're a little bit more ready to make the phone call. The action stage is content needed to convert a potential client into a client. So, this is when your client is ready to call you. They've read all your pre contemplation content, they've realized that, might need help with this because your content told them that this problem can be helped. They've gone through the preparation stage where they've learned a little bit more about you and your services, and they've decided that you're the best fit. So, how are you going to take them from knowing you're the best fit to actually making the phone call? And then maintenance is the content that is used to maintain your client. So, once they make that phone call, how are you going to follow up to make sure that they come? How are you going to keep providing them with helpful information outside of the counseling session? So, each stage of change requires a different type of content to be written in a different way. We want it to be an easy transition for the client to go from being aware of the problem to evaluating your services to calling you. So, for this week, we are only going to focus on the pre contemplation and contemplation stage. So, this is the stage of marketing where you are making the client aware of the problem or the solution. So, this content is essentially written for someone who's not looking for counseling. Maybe they're just scrolling on Facebook, maybe they're on Pinterest looking up different things, and they aren't really aware that they have a problem, or they're aware of the problem but they don't think that there's a solution. um, Working with moms, I know that a lot of moms just feel like, well, this is what life is, this is what life is when you have a kid. So making them aware that things can be different, um, and once they realize that things can be different, they might want to start taking those steps to reducing stress in their life. So you're making them aware that life can get easier, better, and more fun. Connect with your partner or whatever else you want to help them with. So this is where think about how you can help them. What do you help them do? Do you help them connect with their partner? If so, you write about those types of things. You write about having date nights at the house or um, fun places that you can go with in whatever city that you live in, different things like that. So, when we're talking about pre contemplation content, we're talking about social media posts, blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts, and pictures. So, think about what your ideal client that we went over last week, what are the two types of content that they would like? So, I know that for if you're a therapist and you're wanting to help other therapists, I know that podcasts are huge in that area. Um, if you're looking at the younger kind of college age, you might be looking more at YouTube and picture based stuff like in Instagram and Snapchat. Moms, you're going to find them mostly on blog posts, Pinterest, Facebook, different things like that. So, really go back and look at that ideal client and figure out what type of two different types of content that you feel that they would engage in. So, what we're going to do is we're going to move over to Trello, and I'm going to show you how I do my content for the pre contemplation stage. So, what I want you to remember is that they're not really aware of the problem. So, if you write, stuff about anxiety, and you're really using the words anxiety, it's going to turn those people off. Because so remember, when you're writing these posts and when you're putting them on Instagram or Facebook, these are the people who are not, they're not going to relate to that language. So if you have, and this is where you have to really kind of think about how you can help them. So if you have a mom who's really stressed out, so she has anxiety, she has depression, she's just not happy, it's very overwhelming. You have to find out, without using those kind of clinical words, what are you doing to help her out? So, one way to word it, a couple of blog post ideas for that type of mom, that ideal client would be, you know, how to get out of the house in the mornings without yelling at your kids, how to take a break and go find your happy place for a little bit. It can be, I know you're really busy and overwhelmed. Here are a few recipes that are quick and easy. So through this content, you're really giving them life advice on what they can do without being clinical. Once they get into your content, that's where you kind of start to put in the next phase. So when we're doing the pre-contemplation content, we're going to put in something about the preparation stage. So this may be a little blurb at the end that says, you know, so let's say you work with couples and your contemplation blog post could be, um, feel like you don't have time to date. Here are 5 simple ways to make dates at home. So it's obviously somebody who needs to feel more connected with their partner, and that's why they're reading that. So at the end, you can offer a video series on ways to connect with your partner. So that's moving them into the preparation stage. They're wanting more information, but more consistent with the services that you provide. Once they've done, and in order to get this preparation material, they need to do something for you. And typically that's putting in your email address. And that would help you move them into the action stage where you're then sending them emails and offering services. Okay, why don't we do a couples counseling session? And so that's kind of how you move them through the stages of change based on your marketing. So you're going from, hey, here's 5 simple date night ideas to here's the videos on connecting with your partner. And I also do sessions. And then maintenance would be an email after they call you or email about setting up an appointment, newsletters that might go out in your business, different things like that. So, how I do my pre contemplation is all on Trello. And I really, really love this. So, the main thing that I want you to do this week is think of 5 different areas that you can write to your client about. So, this is the one for my mom's group that I have. So, these that don't have this has like a keyword in it, ones that just kind of have random things written in, these are just ideas that I have. I haven't really fleshed them out yet. But anytime I get an idea, I just kind of throw it up on here. And there's apps, so I can, if I'm out and I think of something, I can just easily put it in on my phone. So I want you to think about your ideal client, and I want you to think of 5 areas that they would want to see content about. So for my mom's group, family stuff, ways to connect with your kids, different things like that. They want to know self-care and mental health. Maybe love and relationships, so date ideas, communication books, transitioning. Do you have a kid who's going to kindergarten? That's a really hard transition. Baby number 2 coming. And then life hacks. These are the ones that are going to probably get the most engagement because they're not so kind of serious topic-y. They're, freezer dinner ideas. Like, all mom wants to know that. So, so think of 5 different content areas and then put them up on Trello. So the way you do with Trello is you just go to add a list and you just hit save. And then that comes up with the new list. And then what you do to get each of these separate little boxes is you just add a new card and the title and hit add. And then you come up here and then you can edit it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through one of mine that I did. So, like I said, these are just kind of all little ideas that I haven't really fleshed out. Once I have an idea that I want to fully start working on and kind of building all the content for, I use a kind of like a keyword to help me keep them all together. So, what you first want to do is write your main blog post. Oops. So my main blog post is, do mom breaks really exist? So when I come in here, I edit the description and I want to put the keyword, I want to put the offer, and I want to put the type. And on Friday, as part of our resources for Friday, I'm going to be giving you a list, an example of all the different types of blog posts that you can do. So this one is kind of the storytelling blog post. And my offer is going to be the journal, and this is where they would have to put their email in. So at this point, you really don't have this offer section yet. We need to get kind of used to just submitting blog posts and getting them out. And then next week, we'll kind of go over the offers. So I already, so when I do this, I have the written copy on Google Docs. And so I just add it here. And then and then you can do labels. So I have a label for completed idea. And so if it's just an idea at this point, it's yellow. Once I actually write it and make the image, then I hit completed. And then is it a video, a Facebook post, or a blog post? So these, of course, are going to be different based on what you choose to do. So I have already done this one. So when I was ready to put it up on my website, all I had to do was come into Trello, and it was just like completed at that point. I copy and pasted into my website, and I put the image. So once that is done, and the great thing about this is that I can write it 2 or 3 months before I ever post it. And you can sit down and do a couple months worth of content, and then it's already there for you. So when you are ready to post it, you just go to the attachments, you copy paste, and publish your post. So once it is done, and I've posted it onto the website, you want to make sure that you go and share it. So this is the Facebook post. This is what I wrote, and then this is the link to the blog post. So once that's done, you just move it over to completed blog post. So from there, we want to add more content, all about the same type of thing. So what I do is I make 2 other blog posts, at least 2 other blog posts. And so this one, as you can see, it's still an idea, so I haven't even written it. So it's 5 ways to know that you need a mom break. And then I'm going to do another one. Steal 15 minutes is still an idea. It's how to steal 15 minutes out of each day. And when you do these 2 blog posts, what you want to do is link back to your main blog post. And what that does is it helps with SEO to help get you ranked for whatever keyword you picked. So that is kind of fleshing out the blog post ideas. And then what you want to do is you want to take those 3 blog post ideas, and you want to make Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, wherever your clients are, you want to make social media content for them. So this is one, it's completed, and it's a Facebook post. And then I just put what I would write on Facebook. So all I have to do when I'm ready to do this is copy and paste into my Facebook group. And I actually did this morning, so I can move it over to Facebook post, and then I can reuse. I am not sure why that's not. Yeah, there we go. And so what I can do is on any given day, if I want to reuse this, it's here for me to reuse several months later. So basically what you do is you're going to take your blog post and you're going to break it down into sections. So this one is actually taken right from what I posted on the Canva photo, is an exact, like, just copy and paste from my actual blog post. And so then I can just download it and upload it to Facebook, and it's already ready for me to do whenever I want to do that. This is just kind of another just picture. This wasn't exactly from the blog post, but it's still kind of the same thing. It's related back. So the rest of them are just ideas that I have. So I want to do kind of a funny one. You need a break when your name becomes mom, 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 mom. So I'll do a little picture for that. And then, so the second blog post I was going to do was about reasons that you know that you need a mom break. So once I kind of write that, I can just take a part of that and put it in. And just kind of another idea. So because these are yellow, I know that they're an idea, and when I sit down and do content, I need to make them completed by either making them into a picture, writing whatever words I need to, writing the blog post, all of that. So then all of the content. So basically, we've done about 8 or 9 different sets of content between, 6 Facebook posts and 3 blog posts, 9 content all on one topic. Now, of course, you don't want to do post all of them in one week. You want to kind of spread them out through a couple months. So that is how you take a blog post and kind of expand the content into a bunch of different content. And so what you'll do is you'll do the same thing. So the next one I know that I'm going to be working on is freezer ideas. So I will take this one idea that I have right here and I will break it into 9 to 12 different content things. So the biggest thing that I want you to remember is that this doesn't seem very therapeutic. Freezer dinners does not sound very therapeutic. But what it is it's how you write it and where you're going to go from there. So freezer ideas, like if they're looking to make things quick, they're probably working moms. They're probably stressed out. You can add in there. So it would be about where you're going to take them next. So they're coming there for ideas, for freezer ideas. You're talking about how, you don't have time. These are some quick ways to make more time. What is going to be that offer? And that's what we're going to really focus on next week. Where are you going to take them? What is going to be the offer that makes them kind of move into wanting to know more? And it's just more engaging. If you're super kind of serious and, take care of yourself and reduce your stress and everything, people kind of lose interest. But these kind of things are really, really to help build engagement as well. Time management routines for working moms. This is where I kind of talked about how to get out of the house without yelling at your kids in the morning, because sometimes they're slow. So kind of time management stuff, but it can build into another offer that is, I haven't really worked out that yet. But it could be about, I can give them a cheat sheet on dealing with kids in the morning, or ways to make morning time and bedtime easier. And then once they've kind of gotten into that, then it moves them to the next stage. So like I said, these are just kind of ideas that I have that I haven't really fleshed out. And then this is one that I have kind of gotten all the content, and just need to start building it. So to kind of recap, for this week, I want you can either do it in Trello or you can do it just in a spreadsheet. I just like this because it's easy. And think of 5 areas that you can write about that relate back to your ideal client. And then kind of start to, under each idea, kind of put 2 or 3 ideas of different content that you can work out. And then next week, we're going to take one and we're just going to focus on what would be the next section for that. So what you'll see next week is a new list that has offers. And this is where we're going to, and you don't have to have a lot of offers, just a few different ones that you can kind of use throughout. So that is all that I have for today. What I will do is on Friday, I will post a PDF that tells you all the different types of blog post ideas and give an example of them. So for the freezer idea, I'll be using a curated post, which just means that I take posts from other people's websites and copy the links into my website, and I don't really have to do any work. I don't have to go and think of recipe ideas. I'm just curating a post that has 4 recipes from other websites. And then This one is more of a story. I'm talking about my day and being busy. Um, so that is the pre-contemplation content is just blog posts and Facebook posts that all kind of relate around a topic that is not directly related to counseling, but kind of gives them a sense of how you can help them or like here engage with them because you kind of need a good combination of both. And so that is all that I have for today. And I will see you guys in the group. And as always, if you have any questions, just let me know.